Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas, one of the biggest cruise ships in the world, is about to get some massive upgrades. We've got a list of what's changing up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Royal Caribbean announced this week that Allure of the Seas will be getting a $100 million plus overhaul in early 2025. That's going to include things like a brand new ultimate panoramic suite above the ship's bridge. There's also going to be a revamped Caribbean pool deck with upgraded loungers and cabanas, new top deck attractions, an expansion of the solarium area, and upgraded teen hangouts, new restaurants, bars, and more. The work will begin in March of 2025, just in time for the ship to return to service in April of 2025 while it's in Europe. All right, so what is changing on Allure of the Seas? Well, when it's finished, there'll be over 35 places to eat, drink, and splash on board. And as I said earlier, it's a $100 million plus upgrade. Number one, they're going to redo the pool deck. The pool deck on Allure of the Seas will get a refresh that has a more vibrant look and new bars as well. In past refurbishments, Royal Caribbean places a greater focus on the way people lounge and enjoy the area around the pool. This includes not only Caribbean-inspired decor, but new seating, updated hot tubs, and the addition of the lime and coconut pool bar. Royal Caribbean calls it a resort-style pool deck because it gives the entire area a lift. Now, the pool deck on Utopia of the Seas, and even Oasis of the Seas, I think, is a really good indicator of what to expect with Allure's pools, given especially that Utopia's version has the best-in-class features right now. Royal Caribbean will also be adding the Ultimate Abyss slide. The longest dry slide at sea is confirmed, and this is a pair of two slides that are 150 feet above sea level, and they're dry slides, not water slides, and riders slide down a specially designed mat. Now, I know the Ultimate Abyss is a point of contention for some old-school cruisers who generally prefer the non-Abyss blockage of the boardwalk view, but considering every new Oasis-class ship has been getting it, and Oasis got it, I think this is a foregone conclusion at this point. The way the Ultimate Abyss works is you start by climbing through the mouth of an entrance that looks like an anglerfish predator, and the entrance has glass floor with views down below, and it's not sure yet if it'll be quite as long as the one on Utopia of the Seas, but it's definitely going to have some new thrills there. Also, right next to the Ultimate Abyss is going to be another change, which is the addition of the shaved ice bar right at the Wipeout bar, which is something the Royal Caribbean first announced on Utopia of the Seas. Speaking of slides, there will also be water slides added to Allure of the Seas, and almost certainly I'm expecting them to be the trio of slides that we see on pretty much every Oasis-class ship. The Perfect Storm trio of water slides offers 2 racer slides and a champagne bowl slide that are included in your cruise fare. As you come down any of the slides, you'll twist and turn 3 decks down into a splashy finish, and as I mentioned earlier, there's no cost for the water slides. Also, there will be a splashaway bay added, which should replace the H2O zone. Splashaway Bay is a place for kids to find fountains, buckets, sprays, and even a water slide they can enjoy all day long. There's even a special area reserved just for toddlers who are still in diapers. Arguably one of the best things added to Utopia of the Seas is coming to Allure, and that is the pesky Parrot Bar. Royal Caribbean's new Tiki Bar will be on Allure of the Seas, and it's a twist on a traditional Tiki Bar with an infusion of Caribbean vibes. There's a wide menu of fruit-based cocktails alongside frozen drinks as well. And quite frankly, this is a really fun spot to hang out because this bar offers a vibrant open area for guests to enjoy a drink on the Royal Promenade, and I think it adds a lot to the area, and this will be replacing the Champagne Bar. There's also a few new restaurants coming to Allure of the Seas. We're going to have Playmaker Sports Bar and Arcade added to the boardwalk, and that should replace Sabor. The Mason Jar will be added as well near the Windjammer, and of course, El Loco Fresh will be added to the pool deck. Each of these new restaurants, I'm a really big fan of. First of all, Playmaker Sports Bar is a great area for just a lot of great drinks and, of course, being able to watch the big game. A lot of people love being able to go to a sports bar, and Playmakers really does it well. They have a great menu, they have tons of TVs, good drinks to choose from. Really, my only complaint about Playmakers on an Oasis-class ship is the fact that it is open air, so during the summer months it can get a little warm in there, but truly that's a minor gripe. It's a great spot to hang out. The Mason Jar has a restaurant and a bar element to it, and the Mason Jar serves Southern American food. Think fried chicken, po' boys, shrimp and grits, catfish, and more. But what I really like about the Mason Jar isn't so much the food as it is the bar itself. I really love the vibe of the bar. Great drinks to choose from. Some of my favorite drinks on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship are at the Mason Jar Bar and the Country Trio that perform country music there. It's a great spot. I really love going to that bar. Also, El Loco Fresh. Listen, El Loco Fresh is great because it is just plain old Mexican food. And any place that I can load up as much pico de gallo and guacamole as possible, and it's included in my cruise fare, I'm all for that. Royal Caribbean says there'll be 20 places to eat on board, along with 17 bars on Allure of the Seas once the work is done. If you love a good puzzle, well then there'll be a new escape room challenge on Allure of the Seas. Escape rooms allow passengers the chance to beat a time challenge where a specially designed room has all sorts of puzzles and riddles that you must solve in order to complete the proper sequence. For Allure of the Seas, their escape room will be called Apollo 18 Lunar Landing, which is themed to a landing on the moon back in the 60s. Escape rooms do have an extra cost to them, and they do range in duration and theme and price, but they're really fun activities, something totally different to do on a cruise. Included in your cruise fare will also be glow-in-the-dark laser tag coming to Allure of the Seas, where you can put on laser tag vest, grab a laser tag gun, and head into the arena. This is held in the ice skating rink. I've done it a couple different times with my kids, and it's always a crowd pleaser, a lot of fun, a neat thing to do. Something that'll be added to Allure that first got added to Oasis and now is on Utopia as well is going to be the Ultimate Panoramic Suite. This offers 914 square feet of space and sweeping 200-degree views from wall to wall and floor-to-ceiling glass windows. There's no balcony in this room, but what makes it really interesting is the fact that it just has so many views and really some of the arguably the best views of any cabin out there. It's right at the front of the ship, underneath the ship's bridge, which, as you know, is going to have a great view because the captain needs to see everything, and so will you. This will be a Star Class suite that has a walk-in closet and upgraded bathroom with panoramic views of its own. Now, the kids and teens areas will both be upgraded as well. There'll be dedicated areas for kids on Allure, and they'll get an update. The revamped Adventure Ocean will include Play Place, a hands-on art, science, and tech area in the workshop, physical interactive games at Arena, the Hangout, and dedicated programs for babies and younger kids. The Teen Club will get updates as well with the new Social 298 venue. Now, there's one area that will not be updated on Allure of the Seas, almost certainly, and that is the staterooms. Royal Caribbean rarely, if ever, updates its cabins during ship refurbishments. They do a lot of work actually under the hood because refurbishments are not just the upgrades I mentioned here. They do a lot of work, on the ship's engines and maintenance and whatnot. But ship cabins traditionally are not updated. Why? Well, I'm sure there's various reasons of which we're not privy to them. Obviously, cost is one. Second of all is the fact that the cabins generally work for a lot of people and they're functional. They don't necessarily as updated as you might find on newer ships, but as I mentioned, in the past, Royal Caribbean has not updated cabins. Could that change? Absolutely. And I might be dead wrong about this, but certainly it was not mentioned in the announcement for what Royal Caribbean will do to Allure of the Seas, and I gotta be frank with you, I wouldn't expect that to be the case. The work begins in February of 2025, goes through March, and then, of course, the new ship launches back into service in April of 2025. After that, Allure of the Seas will sail the Mediterranean from Barcelona, offering summer 2025 cruises in Europe before heading to Fort Lauderdale in November. The vessel will then sail 6 to 8 night Caribbean vacations to the Eastern Caribbean and the Bahamas, with stops at Royal Caribbean's private island, A Perfect Day at Coco Cay. So now that we know exactly what Royal Caribbean is doing to Allure of the Seas, let me know in the comments below, what are you most excited about? What do you think is missing from the updates? And what would you add to Allure of the Seas if you had the chance? Let me know in the comments below. While you're down below our video, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. That way you will know we have a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. We'll talk again real soon.